Hello, my name is David and welcome to Ori RC. In this video, I'll be going over the different types of RC that there are and what exactly RC is. If some of you don't know what the hobby grade RC is, simple explanation. So the hobby grade RC you'll get at like a hobby town or a hobby store. There is a difference between the ones at like, let's say, a Walmart or a Target. Those are what you would call a toy grade. A lot of the toy grade ones, whenever you turn left or right on the remote, it'll go either all the way left or all the way right. There's no real in between. The hobby grade, it will give you just the full articulation, just as if you're actually steering a car. And same goes with the throttle, because whenever you're going forward or going back on a lot of toy grade RCs, it's just full blast or nothing. Again, on these, you can really kind of get into it. So it's like you can turn right or turn left and then just a little throttle or a little bit of brake or full blast or full brake. You know, you got a lot more options than just anything at like Walmart or Target. With that being said, there's a whole bunch of different genres or classes of the RC hobby if you want to explore a few, and I'll be going over that in this video. And this will be a series to go over these, because in other videos I'll be making soon, I'll be doing a deep dive over each genre or class of the hobby. This way, if you're either in the hobby or you're just starting, it might open up a little bit more to where if you want to get into, let's say, crawling, drifting, or if you want to start racing even. I personally like racing a lot. I think it's a lot of fun just because of the competition. Or if you like to, you know, compete with yourself, you can even do that a lot with, like, let's say, how fast can I go around the track or anything like that. But okay, getting into it, this is the very first genre that I'll be going over, or class, is the basher class. Now, the basher class, usually they can take a really good beating, and there's not a lot of maintenance that you can do to it or have to do to it. They're widely available all across the board, usually at, let's say, if you look up Hobbytown or have been to Hobbytown, you can usually find support or upgrades there in case you do break something. They're just really, really easy to work on most of the time, or at least very easy to find the parts in case you do break something or if you want to upgrade it a little bit. They're super fast. Some of them, most of them are, especially nowadays, they go about 30 to 50 miles an hour on average, and you can jump them, backflip them, front flip them, and it might not end well doing a front flip, but you can try it. It doesn't work well for me, but a lot of them are waterproof. They come as ready to run or RTR. The only thing is that a lot of these, like let's say this Creighton here, you will need to buy the charger and the battery so that you can actually power the vehicle. Most of them do come with the batteries for the remote. This way, it's a really, really easy way to get into the hobby if you want to go that route. And there's a whole bunch of different kinds of the basher type and different scales as well. There are ones that literally could fit within the gap between these tires, or you can get something about this size, or even a little bit bigger. Now, it kind of depends on the price or where you're able to even drive them, because sometimes they're too big to, you know, drive in an apartment parking lot. But anyways, now that's the basher class. Next one will be the crawlers. Let me show you. Here are the crawlers. And these are two different brands or two different companies that supply these. This is Traxxas and this is Axial. Now, these are a little bit more on the smaller scale. This is what they would call the 1/24 scale. And the fun thing about this and this size is that you can really use these indoors anytime you want. And you can make little trails or make little obstacles with like books, cardboard, and some tape. You can make it a lot of fun if you wanted. With these is that you can customize them to your heart's content, really. This one's a little taken apart because I'm doing some work on it. You can customize the wheels, you can make the body as realistic as you want, or you a lot of the time I've seen where people make the truck body or SUV body look like their own personal vehicle, and I think that's pretty sick. These are the smaller size, but you can get ones that were like the previous one that I had in the basher class, what they would call the 1/10 scale, and that's about yay big, yay tall. And that's the most common, really, because you can go on at trails near the lake, or if you're just kind of walking around at a park, you can, take it easy. I will say they're not fast. So the thing is that if you're not looking to go 30, 50, 60 miles an hour, I would say give this a try, especially if you like to have more of a laid-back experience. You like to customize and personalize. There's thousands and thousands of accessories that you can do to upgrade them and personalize them. You can paint the bodies, have different wheels and tires. There's so much. I think it's a lot of fun to be able to just kind of do small technical things. That's the other part, is that you can get very technical or very strategic in your climbing. So if you look a lot of them up, they go to trails that you can make and set yourself a goal. Can I get up that rock? Well, that's the fun thing, is that it'll surprise you how capable these are, even though they're so small. And even on the 10 scale stuff, it'll be a lot of fun to try to challenge yourself to see if you can do these small challenges. This one's for someone that's a little bit more slower paced and likes to just kind of take it easy. And there's usually a lot of events around, and if you look it up, you might find a little community that goes out and does a little bit of trail walking. And it's a good way to just kind of have a nice, easy environment. All right, let's get into the next one, and that will be racers. Now here is the racer class. This is someone that likes to be competitive, technical, and likes to actually get their hands in the nitty-gritty of building their toys or like Lego kits or anything like that in race. This is a class that I would recommend, and it's a whole lot of fun because I love putting kits together and being able to personalize it. Now it's really, really hard to tell, but this has a more of like a purple green shift pearlescent color in black and white, but under the sunlight you can actually see it shift, and it's something that I really like. So that's something in this class that you can do, is personalize your own little car or have someone paint it if you wanted. But I will say is that if you don't buy them secondhand and you want to buy one brand new, you will get it in a box and everything will be in pieces. They will have really good instructions so that you can piece it together, put it together, fill your shocks, build the transmission, and this way you can actually have your hands on the whole thing. If you do break something, you know how to fix it. And I've broken a few things as far as like the arms or hubs, many different pieces, because I'm not a professional. I just really like being able to race and things like that. Now, a lot of the other classes that I'll be mentioning in this video come with the power system, as far as like to make it go, like the motor, what they call is the ESC, the servo to make it turn. The racer class, you had to provide those yourself. So just make sure you know what you're getting and do some research in what kit you're gonna get. Like this is a 2-wheel drive, they have 4-wheel drive, they also have 8 scale, which is bigger, and those will be 4-wheel drive buggies and 4-wheel drive truggies. They also have, in this size, is what they call the stadium truck. It's the same thing, just a little bit bigger. Overall, if you want to be competitive in the hobby, this is the class to go for, especially if it's someone that already has been in the bashing scene for a while or the crawling and just wants to try something different, and you like to build and accessorize your vehicles. Go ahead and give the racing class a try. And it's what got me back in the hobby. I feel like it was a whole lot of fun to just race around the track, being competitive. Every once in a while, I'm not a pro, but I like to go to club races, and I'll explain that more in the racing video or racing class video that I'll make in the future. And as I go down below, I will be posting links for every video that I make as far per class. And I'll be making basics as far as that, what tools you'll need to build this, what tools you'll need in general. You won't be going back to the hobby store or having to wait for anything online to be able to fix anything or put anything together. And that'll be a whole another video in the playlist that I'll be making. Now, I'll be going to the last class, and it's kind of a niche one, but if you like to watch Need for Speed Tokyo Drift or anything like that, this is a class that I think you should give a try. Excuse the bad paint job that I've done to this car. I just drive this around in parking lots, and it's a whole lot of fun. This is in the drifting class. It's two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. Only the back tires turn, and you have an insane amount of angle. This way you can see and excuse all the dirt and bad wiring. You have a lot of angle that you get to work with. It's a little bit more, like I mentioned before, that it's kind of a niche thing, and you can't really find a whole lot of places that you can just put in the dirt or anything like that. It just won't perform all that well. If you want, I think it'd be a lot of fun. That's what I'm about to do in one of my videos, because I don't really have a drift track around my area. I mostly do a lot of parking lot drifting. I think this will be a whole lot of fun if you like to make it as detailed as you want and you like to be able to drift. I will say in this drifting class, it does help a lot being able to understand throttle control, steering control really, if you mess with what they call in here a gyro, which if the back end of the car skids out, it'll help you steer to straighten it back out. This way you don't just spin out. One last thing that I will say is make sure you know what tires to get depending on what surfaces you're going to go on, especially if you're planning on drifting. There's concrete, carpet, soft or smooth concrete to where it's like waxed. You can see in like a warehouse. Specific drift tracks, they have a specific material. You'll have to have the exact tire or close to an exact tire depending on your drifting characteristics that you go for. With having seen all these types of RC, and this way if you're looking in and being in a hobby or stretching the horizon if you're already in it, I will be going over more in detail in each class and more, because there's a whole lot to them. Let's say racing, there's a whole lot more sub classes to it where it's off-road or on-road. I'll be breaking those down, the specific videos in those classes, a lot more in detail and a little bit more professional, to where I'll be getting into the technical details. And this way, if you want, you can really set and pinpoint which one you want to go for. Or again, like I said, if you want to just kind of scratch that curiosity, this way you can choose which one would be best for you getting into the hobby, or what next class you're gonna want to try out. I will say, any of these classes that you're going into and you want to be part of the community, I would recommend to go ahead and do some research in your area to see if they have some tracks, or if they do meet up in your area, like social events or anything like that, or if there's some spots. There is a good way to be able to find out, especially for the basher or crawler class, bash maps. I will put a link below, especially if you're on your phone. This way, if you want to get into crawling or bashing, or see if they have some tracks, because every day there's always something being updated as far as if tracks are popping up, events are popping up, or good spots if you want to do some jumps or anything like that. And it's a good way to kind of get into the community as well, especially if you're new. Well, I'll be making this a whole series. Down below, I'll be putting a whole bunch of links for every class, diving into the subclasses of each genre of the RC hobby. And this way you can pick and choose more in detail of what you want to either stretch your horizon on or get into if you're just starting out. There will be the basics, so it'll just be a video of what tools you need with cleaning things, just some recommendations in general, and tips and tricks that I've found along the way of the 10 plus years I've been in the hobby myself. Over time, the videos, I aim on getting a little bit better quality, a little bit faster pacing. I'm just now starting this channel, so please bear with me. So, well, all right. Thank you for watching the video, especially if you made it to the end. please like and subscribe, and comment down below any questions you have, or which genre you wanted me to go over first, or any details that you want me to research, and then this way I can provide y'all with the appropriate amount of things. This way I'm not just putting a whole bunch of info out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.